Okay, right, let's get going. Right, come down and lie on your back. Stretch your legs out. Turn the feet out to the side. Drop the arms out to the side. Take a big inhale. And a big exhale. So just kind of ground yourself into that space beneath the body. So I've used the analogy before, but imagine you've got a beach towel and you're led on really soft sand, and you're actually able to kind of groove your body a little bit deeper into the ground. So you get comfier. You don't feel like you're holding yourself there, but your whole body weight can just kind of surrender into that space. Just notice the weight of the shoulders, the back of the head, the lower back and the hips. Making sure you're not holding any tension through the face, so around the eyes, around the mouth, around the jaw, and then down through the arms. Make sure you're not gripping through the palms. That can be nice and soft as well. Big, deep breaths. Anything that's been going on throughout your day, try and leave that to one side. You can pick it up afterwards. You've given up the time to be here this evening, so try your best to stay present, stay connected to what we're doing, to how it feels, and to what your body needs. Bring your knees into the chest, give yourself a hug, squeeze the knees in, and just give a gentle rock from side to side. And then take the right hand over both knees, take the left arm out to the side. Just take a twist, bring both knees over to the right side, gaze over to the left. So just take a full body twist, open through that left hip. Breathe in. Relax your left shoulder, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale, bring it back through center. Now take both knees all the way over to the left side. Right arm stretches out to the right side. Gaze to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath. Exhale, come back. Keep your right knee in, stretch your left leg out, and then kick your right leg up to the sky. Just hold behind the right thigh and try and encourage that thigh in. You can just kind of rock side to side as you pull that thigh in if you like. So there's a bit more movement, wriggling into the back of the hamstring almost. It doesn't have to be a static stretch. You might kind of rock it from side to side as you're trying to bring that right thigh closer to the body. And then just take that right leg out long. Bring your left leg all the way in. Same on that left side. So bits of movement as you kind of pull that left thigh in nice and close. Open around the back of the hip into the hamstring. Keeping the breath steady. And then hug both knees in. Rock up to a seated position. Come straight over. So bring your hands over. Step your knees back to all fours, hands and knees. Push into the hands and then inhale straight into cat-cow. Look forwards, open the chest. Exhale, pull your waist in, round through the spine. Inhale forwards. Exhale, make it active. So really pull in through the waist, draw the navel in, find that connection. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, round out. Inhale, look forwards. Squeeze the shoulders, exhale, round out. Take one more breath. Forwards, inhale. Round, exhale. At the top of that rounding shape, tuck your toes, lift your hips back into downward facing. Just a bit of movement through the legs. Shake out through the head and the neck. Just make sure you're not restricted or tight in that area. And then when you're ready, just find stillness. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide, so that if you just glance to your hands, you can see the mat between each of the fingers. So there's space between each of the fingers. And then just ask yourself if it's feeling quite squashed around the upper shoulders and around the neck. If it is, and your hands are quite close together, take your hands a little bit wider out to the side so you have more room this evening across the top of the shoulders. Bend your knees. Walk the feet in towards the hands, folding the body forwards. Relax into that forward fold. Hold opposite elbows, and that's kind of like it adds some weight to the upper body. So use that to draw forwards and down. And then let the arms go. Pull in through the waist, roll up through the spine. Taking your time, push down into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, lift tall. Interlace the fingers, make a fist. And then push the heels of your hands to the sky. So push your hands all the way up. Take a side bend to the right, stretch and open through the left. Inhale to center. Stretch and open the right side as you reach to the left. Inhale, center. Take the arms down by the side. Bring the chin into the chest, roll down through the spine. So kind of like a Pilates roll down. Curl through the back. Keep pulling the waist in. Hands to the floor. Knees can be soft and bend. Inhale, look beyond the top of the mat, so straighten through the spine. Exhale, down into your forward fold. Inhale, straighten through the spine and extend. Exhale, forward fold. Hands push to the ground. Step back into downward facing. Pull the waist in. So you're always really secure and strong around the lower back. Keep that breath steady. Every time your mind wanders, you get distracted, you lose where we're going, or you feel there's a disconnect, and just bring the breath back. Really simple, inhale and an exhale. You can think about how that moves the chest, how that moves the belly, the shoulders. Look to the hands. Take your right foot to the top of the mat. Rest your left knee down to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, can you go a bit deeper into that left hip? So you drive it forwards on the exhale. Inhale, find a lift through the chest. And then exhale, see if you can push that left hip forwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands down inside of the right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the left knee off the floor so you have a long line through that left leg. Gaze forwards, look forwards. Send your chest forwards. Feel the shoulders pull down. Lengthen through the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Rest your back knee. Take your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Reach the right arm up to the sky. So variation of a side plank, your left knee is down. And then if you want to make it more challenging, just lift the right leg off the floor. So you're balancing on the left hand and the left knee. Reaching across the chest, reaching out through your right fingertips. Lifting the back leg, lifting the chest. Right hand down, keep your right leg lifted. So when you come back to face down, you have 3 points of contact. Take your opposite arm out. So reach the left arm out. So you've now got left arm reaching, right leg back, waist drawing in. Exhale, round and bring your elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, round. Place the left hand down, the right knee down. Tuck your toes, stretch back into downward facing. Look to the hands. Left foot stepping to the top of the mat, right knee resting down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, move into that right hip. Inhale, find a slight lift. Exhale, move into the right thigh. 2 more breaths. So inhale, think height. Exhale, slowly move it forwards. Inhale, height. Exhale, slowly move it forwards. Hands come down to the instep, the inside of the left foot. Back toes tuck, right leg straightens. And then gaze forwards. So if you round, notice how you come out of the stretch around the hips. I want you to let the hips come down slightly and then let the gaze come forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Rest your right knee down. Take your left foot to the back of the mat and then reach your left arm up to the sky. So start here. Pull the waist in, and then if you want more, you're lifting the left leg off the floor. If you want to think more about alignment, just notice if you're letting your hips fall back. See if you can squeeze your glutes and send the hips a bit further forwards. One more breath in. Breathe out, let your left hand come down, the left leg stays extended. Now reach the right arm out, so opposite arm, opposite leg. Waist draws in. Take a breath. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And out. Place both hands and knees down. Bend the elbows, come all the way to the floor. Hands are underneath the shoulders, toes point back. Inhale, lift your chest, look forwards. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift your chest, look forwards. Exhale, lower. Final one. Lift your chest, draw the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, lower down. Toes tuck. Knees bend, take it back into downward facing. Reconnect with your breath. Lift through the hips. Lengthen through the arms. Open through the shoulders. Breathe in. And breathe out. Look to the top of the mat. Step your right foot forwards. This time, keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, high lunge. And then soften your back knee. So you bring some more space into the lower back. Take your left hand and place it in your lower back. So your thumb is coming up the spine and your little finger is pointing down the spine. Now with that back knee bent, notice how much space is underneath your hand. So it feels nice and flat. It feels like there's plenty of room. Now, as you straighten your left leg, try and keep that space underneath the hand. So sometimes when we straighten the back leg, we kind of drop into the back. I want you to keep space in the back, but the ability to straighten that back leg is coming because you're opening the front of the thigh. Hopefully that makes sense. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now reach your left arm up next to the right arm. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Right arm forwards, left arm back, warrior 2. Bend into the front knee. Stretch the arms out wide. Flip both palms to face the ceiling and then pull your shoulders down away from the ears. Take both hands back. Straighten your right leg. Shuffle that back foot in once or twice. Hinge from your right hip. Reach that right arm forwards. Take your right hand to the shin and reach your left arm up to the sky. Open wide across the chest. So pull your shoulder blades back. Lift through your chest. If you want a challenge, take your arms overhead like you're holding a big beach ball. So there's no weight in the beach ball, but you've got to hold your body there using the side of the waist. Rise all the way up. Straight arms, straight legs. Turn your right toes in. So both toes face in slightly. Hands to the hips. Hinge forwards, fold the body weight down. Bringing yourself forwards to the ground. Hands to the floor. Head and neck relaxes. Bend your knees. Hold on to the backs of your ankles and pull yourself down into a forward fold. So use the strength of your arms. Really use your biceps, your grip, your shoulders. You can draw your waist in at the same time. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Let your hands go. Walk back to the top of your mat. Rest the left knee down to the floor. Straighten your right leg. So walk the hands back as you straighten that right leg. So you're pulling those right toes back, trying to pull the right thigh in towards you. This is option one. Option two, I don't very often give, but if you want to take that right foot further forwards, you can think about whether you can come further into that left hip at the same time as well. So if any of you are extremely bendy, thinking about working to the splits, which I am no way near, but it's just nice to open both hips at the same time. So you've got your hands for support. Or you're staying just stretching that front hamstring. It's not something you want to rush or push into. If you're taking the fuller variation, bring your hands inside just to bring that right leg back. If you are half here, so this back knee was still bent, you're going to take your left arm out to the side and everyone reach their right arm up to the sky. So we really open across the chest. Feel the right side of the body open as well. Lift through the right fingertips, look up to the ceiling. And then exhale, bring that right hand down. Place both hands to the top of the mat. Step the right knee back next to the left knee. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. This time, hands come off the ground, point the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, hands to the floor. Knees bend, toes tuck. Take it back, downward facing. Give the head a shake. Nod yes. Side to side, no. And then look to the hands. Step your left foot forwards. Keep that back knee lifted. Inhale, slowly reach up, high lunge. Bending your back knee. Right hand comes into your lower back. Just to make sure you keep that space in your lower back. Now start to straighten the right leg. So I don't want you to feel anything, any pinching, any compression in the back. I want you to feel a stretch through the front of the right thigh. You can reach the right arm back up. And then open into warrior two. So take your arms out wide, bend into that front knee. Don't neglect the back foot, so push into your right foot as well. And then straighten the left leg. Shuffle your back foot in once or twice. Hinge from your left hip, so reach that left arm forwards. Take your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Gaze to the right fingertips. Imagining there's a wall behind you and you're leaning on that wall. So you can't go any further back than the wall. You can't drop that right hand back. It has to reach directly up to the ceiling. Maybe the arms come overhead. Hold that strength. And then rise all the way up. Everyone lift up. Turn your left toes in. Keep the arms lifted. Strengthen through the thighs. So really engage through your legs. Lean forwards with the arms reaching out in front of you. So lean all the way forwards. I'm going to come this way. All the way forwards, hands to the floor. Give the head a shake. And then if you have space in front of you now, so off to the right side of the mat, walk your hands out. So just make sure you've got grip on the floor if you're coming off your mat and onto a slippy surface. I want you to try and grip through the hands and push your hips up to the sky. Relax the head. Relax the neck. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Walk your hands back. You're going to walk your hands to the top of the mat, so it's your left foot that will be at the top of the mat. Rest your right knee down. And then we start by straightening the left leg. So walk the hands back, feeling that stretch all the way through the back of the left thigh, the left calf. And if you want to take it a bit further, reaching that left leg forwards and stretching the right leg back, the left leg forwards. Breathe into it. So each time you exhale, there's a little bit more give. A little bit more release. Steady the breath. If you took it forwards, bring that left leg back. All together, we'll take the right arm out to the side. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Open through the chest. As you're doing that, just make sure your left thigh is active. So make sure that left thigh muscle, the front of the leg, is strong. And then bring the left hand down. Those hands down. Just take your left knee next to your right knee. Sit back to the heels. Take the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Interlace the hands. Hold the back of the head. Exhale. Inhale. Take your elbows out wide. Look forwards. Extend the back. Exhale. Chin to chest. Elbows to touch as you round. Inhale. Lift and open across the elbows. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Release your hands forwards. Walk forwards back to all fours. Toes tuck back into downward facing. Glance to your hands. Walk the feet in. So bring your feet to the back of the hands. Take your first two fingers, hook around the big toe. So get hold of the big toe. Pull your elbows out and draw your body down. Lift through the hips. Want to lean the torso forwards. Again, trying to use this opportunity to strengthen the arms, the grip, the biceps, the shoulders. And then slowly rolling all the way up through the spine. So let go through the hands. Curl all the way up. Slowly come up to standing. Close the eyes, have the palms face forwards, the arms down by the side. And then I just want you to imagine you're carrying two really heavy bags, and they're going to draw your arms down. As they draw your arms down, feel some space spread across the collarbones. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. Exhale, two. Shift your weight over to the left leg and bring the right foot into tree. So place your right foot just on the inside of the calf is fine. Hands come into prayer. Slowly reach your arms up to the sky. Take your hands wide, and then I want you to look. So either fix your gaze down to the floor a few feet ahead of you, or fix it on the wall in front of you. There's an object that's not moving, so you really find focus. And then I want you to kind of wobble the upper body around. So I want you to encourage some random movements. So nothing uniform, nothing set. I just want you to challenge the balance around the lower back, through the pelvis, down through that left leg. So we don't just hold ourselves in one fixed position and lock the joints out. I want all those small stabilizing muscles to be working. 3, 2, 1. And then come back and find stillness. Seeing how that feels now. Maybe even challenging yourself to just close the eyes for a moment. And then bring the hands into prayer, heart center. Place the right foot down next to the left foot. Release the arms. Just stand there a moment. And then when you're ready, to the right side. So hands back into prayer. Left foot lifts this time. Your arms reach up. We all have one side a bit more sturdy than the other side. So don't worry if you fall more on one side. And then just start to rock. So fix your visual focus. Find somewhere that you're going to look at that's not changing. And then move and rock around. Wave the body forwards and backwards, side to side. Try not to create a pattern, but rather to throw the body off from balance. And then find stillness. And maybe now you close the eyes. And then bring your hands into prayer. Place the left foot next to the right foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit down into a chair position. So bend your knees, squeeze the knees together. And from your knees to your waist, I want you to think about creating more space. So almost creating this vacuum into the front of the body, where we're pulling in to support the lower back. And at the same time, giving more space for us to sit lower. 3, 2. On 1, forward fold, hands to the floor. Hands or fingertips. Reach your right leg back behind you, so a supported balance. This is option 1. Option 2, lift your chest a bit higher and take your arms out to the side, so that we challenge the backs of the shoulders slightly. Gaze a bit further forwards. Let yourself open through the chest. Even if your fingertips are down to the ground, you can still look forwards. And then fold back in. Both feet together, hands to the floor. Give your upper body a wriggle and a shake. Other side. Push into your right foot, take your left leg back. Gaze forwards. And then maybe your arms come out to the side. As the arms come out, maybe your chest lifts. Breathing here. Exhale. 2 and 1. Back into your fold. Relax down. 2 options. Either first 2 fingers hook around the toes again. That's option 1. Your second option is to lift the front of the feet. Obviously, keep your heels down, unless you can lift your whole foot off the floor. A miracle. Bring your hands underneath the feet. So your fingers point back to your heels and your big toe pushes into the base of the thumb. Fold forwards. So we have this complete circle, this complete circuit. As you lift your hips, you feel the hamstrings straighten. Feel the upper back lengthen, the shoulders open. The forearms stretch, the wrist. And then let go, hands to the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Bring it forwards to a plank position. Hold that plank position. Bring your shoulders forwards. Either rest the right knee down for your side plank or rock onto the outside edge of the right foot and reach your left arm up to the sky. So we're all lifting the left arm. It's just whether we have that bottom right knee down or lifted. For 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. And then take it to the other side. So either rest your left knee or just roll over, face the right and reach your right arm up to the sky. Come back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look to the hands. Step your right foot forwards. And then just turn the back heel in slightly, push into both feet, rise up, warrior 1. So your back toes are just turning out 45 degrees. Push into both feet, lift up through the chest. And then not quite warrior 2, but not warrior 1 either. You're going to turn your left toes out a little bit more and then sit back into a warrior 1. So you actually have a bit more space in the hips. So warrior 1 is quite a task to bring that left hip forwards, but here we've got the advantage of warrior 1 and warrior 2. So our upper body is kind of facing to 10-2 on a clock face. So we're not pushing it to face the top of the mat now. We're letting the hips open to the left side. And then move into a full warrior 2. Flip your right palm to face the ceiling. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Open that right side of the waist. Exhale, bring both hands all the way down inside of your right foot. Rest your left knee down. And then wriggle your right foot out to the side. So take that right foot out. Take your right hand, hold the right foot and turn so you can see the sole of the foot. So like you're opening a book, open that right foot. So your right knee is going to come out to the side, looking to the underneath of your right foot. Feel the twist and the stretch around the outside of the right hip. Exhale. Use the breath here. If it's quite tight, on that exhale, really try and let go. Really try and resist. The more you hold the breath, the more you think about the tightness, the more we hold on to it, and then the rest of the body becomes tight in response. So really just try and exhale and soften. And even when we're thinking about the hip, just try and relax the shoulders and see if there's a all over effect from relaxing another part of the body. Bring your right hand back. Step back into downward facing dog. Give that a few moments to settle. You might just pedal through the feet. Or maybe take a vinyasa if you want to come forwards to a plank position. Or stay in downward dog. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Chest comes forwards. Exhale, take it back into downward facing. Breathe in. And out. Look to the hands. Step your left foot forwards. Turn your right heel slightly in, right toes out. Reach the arms up, warrior one. Lift through the chest. So it can feel a little bit stressful, warrior one. You're trying to pull that right hip forwards. So open your right toes out a little bit more and let your body turn to 2 o'clock now on the clock face. And then see how much you're able to sit into your hips there. Notice the space you're able to create through the hips. And then your warrior two. Flip the left palm. Inhale, reach and reverse. Open that left side of the waist. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down to the ground. Rest your right knee. Wriggle your left foot out to the side. That might even be enough, just walking the foot out to the side. If you want more, just take your left hand, hold the left foot, and then open the sole of the foot. Like you're opening pages on a book. So you're opening and you can see the sole of the foot, which means this hip has had to twist out, the left hip. Try and relax the shoulders. Relax the rest of the body, the chest. Then down to the lower back, then to the hip. So you can work in stages. And then come back. Both hands down, step back into downward facing. Pedal out on the spot. Walk your feet back in towards the hands. And really slowly roll up through the spine. Taking your time, pull the waist in, so use the abdominals to roll up. And then drop the shoulders down the back. Relax through the back of the neck. Okay, and then pushing down into the right leg, bring your left ankle on top of the right thigh. So you've got a 4 shape. And then bend into your right knee. You can take the hands down to the floor. So if you can see from both sides, really opening into the outside of the left hip. The more you bend in that right knee, the more you'll feel the outside of the left hip. Relax the upper body. Sit low. Maybe, Lauren, you might want to try this. Anyone else that might want to? I can't think you would, but you may. Both hands can come down. Your left knee can come to your left tricep. Your left toes can hook around the right arm if you want to play with a balance. It's not that easy to teach via Zoom. And it's also not that easy. Just for those of you that want some fun, I'm going to stay here. If you're in that stretch, the lower you take that left knee as well, the more you're going to feel it. Relax the head. That's not to offend anyone that I didn't say try that. It's just, I can't think of anyone else that might want to do that. Don't take offense. Roll all the way up. And then just step that left leg down. Give both legs a bit of a shake out. That's quite heavy through the legs. Okay, and then other side. So now left foot stays still. Right ankle comes on top of the left knee. And then fold forwards. And there's a big twist in the outside of that right hip. The more you bend the left knee, the more you feel it. It's really like a pigeon pose, but in pigeon, because we've got the ground, we tend to put all our body weight into it. And if you think now how hard it is actually to fully stretch that right hip, it's easy to go too far in pigeon. And it's really compressive on the knees. So this is, you've got to be more active here. You've got to feel it a bit more. Those that maybe want to balance, your hands come down, right knee into right tricep. See how my left toes hook around my left bicep? And then you bring the weight forwards and lift the left toes. I'm going to stay here. Move that right knee down. You can pulse here if you like by bending in and out of that left knee. It doesn't have to be static. And then we'll all roll up. Take your right leg down, give that a good shake. And come and have a seat. Again, just stretch the legs out, give them a rock, and move around. And then soles of the feet together. Quite a wide diamond shape. Don't bring your heels all the way in. Hold on to the front of the ankles. Lift your chest up to the sky. Look forwards. And then as you exhale, reach the arms out in front of you. And you don't have to be static here either. So you can inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, come forwards. That's one way of doing things. Or you can walk over to the right with both hands, and then maybe walk over to the left. Maybe a bit of a mixture of the two. So just see how you're able to stretch more around the lower back and the hips. You might just want to sit in stillness. You might have had enough of moving. You just decide. Listen to your own body. And I shared a post actually today about finding balance when you practice. So if you're always someone that has to be like moving and pushing and trying everything, sometimes just find stillness when you practice. And likewise, if you're that person that's taking every rest, maybe you need to sometimes push yourself. There can be days when we take the easier options and the more passive options. And there wants to be days where you challenge yourself and it gets a little bit uncomfortable, because that's how we strengthen and we improve. Roll all the way up. Bring the knees up, feet together, and then take your right leg out. Bring that left foot in even closer to you. Wrap your right arm around your left thigh. Stretch your left arm back into space. So first of all, just into space, reaching the left fingertips back. Inhale. Exhale, twist one. Inhale. Exhale, twist two. Inhale. Twist three. Bring your left fingertips down to the ground. Now you've got a little bit of resistance from the fingers. Push yourself even further back. Gaze to the back of the room. And come back to center. Let's switch. Left leg out. Right leg in, nice and close. Left arm wraps around the right thigh. Right hand comes back into space. So notice first of all how hard it is to twist from one side to the other. That second side always feels really stiff when you've gone more one way. Take your time, reaching back, and then the fingers come down. Use the inhale to lengthen and the exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Back to center. Bring the left leg in, so both feet are together. Curl back slightly through the spine. And then reach the arms out in front of you. And maybe just lift your toes off the floor. So just holding yourself in that balance. Spine doesn't have to be straight. Just think about drawing in and locking in through your abdominals. Slowly, if you want, working towards straightening the legs. Breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And then lower it back down. Rest your feet to the floor. Take your hands back behind you. My fingers are pointing to the toes. Push into your hands, lift your hips. Look to the knees. Lift the hips in line with the knees and the chest. So it's easy to let the hips drop here. Push your hips all the way up. And then rest your hips down. Reach the arms to the top of the mat and curl down through the spine. Waist pulls in. Roll it down to the floor. Arms down by the side. Head relaxes down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Belly button pulls in. So draw in, push your lower back to the floor. So find that stability there through the center of the body. Now push into the feet. Also push into the hands. Lift your hips up to the sky. And hold yourself there. So squeeze your glutes on. Stretch your knees away from you. Lift through the chest. Think about whether you have a straight line from the shoulders to the hips, to the knees. And then roll that back down slowly, taking your time. Carefully bring it down. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Breath in. Breath out. We're going to do the same again. So start to roll your hips up. But if you like, what you can do is bring your hands behind your lower back, interlace the fingers, and see if you can wriggle your shoulder blades a little bit closer together. In doing so, create more height across the chest. Lift your hips, so squeeze those big muscles. Squeeze your buttocks, so support the hips and the lower back. Push the feet down. So we're not fighting or straining, there's still breath, but we're really active and strong. Roll that back down. Slowly bring it down to the ground. Carefully, the knees come into the chest. Rock from side to side. Chance to take a happy baby. Soles of the feet up to the sky. Reach for your feet or your ankles if you can't quite get to the feet. Pulling the thighs down to the floor, to the side of the body. And at the same time, trying to lengthen your hips down to the ground. So trying to roll the tailbone back down if it's lifted up quite significantly. And then here, just bring your legs together up to the sky so the knees can be bent. Take your arms out wide. Just stay here for a moment. Take the weight and the pressure out of the feet the ankles, the knees. And most of our day putting stress through the ankles, the knees, the hips. So enjoy flipping things around and letting those joints decompress. Maybe it feels good to wriggle the toes, to roll the ankles, to really mobilize those joints without pressure, without weight. If you're rolling them, take them both ways. Okay, and then extend your legs all the way down to the ground. Your arms can stay out wide if that's comfortable, or bring them back down to the sides. We're going to take 3 big breaths to come into Shavasana. What I want you to do is on the inhale, you're going to clench your wrists, so really tighten and squeeze all the muscles in the body. And then when you exhale, you let that go and you take a big sigh out. So breathe in, squeeze the wrists, squeeze the buttocks, engage, maybe squeeze the muscles around the eyes, and then exhale, sigh, and let that go. We've got 2 more. So inhale, squeeze all the muscles, engage all of them, all your strength, all your force, and then exhale, sigh, and release. Last one. Squeeze, really hold, grip, tense, and then let it all out. Every last drop. And the body can be fully relaxed all the way from the crown of the head down to the tips of the toes. Just let the body be. Absorb the effects of the practice. Settling, not rushing, enjoying the stillness. Just being very content with the stillness, your own space. Ask yourself how you feel physically, mentally, for practicing this evening. And as things are a little bit crazy over the coming weeks, and maybe plans are going to get cancelled or things are going to get changed, it's going to be apprehension with going out and doing other things. And just know that you can always do this. So think of how good you feel now for putting an hour aside. And you've got that now. So bring your knees into the chest and give yourself a very big hug, a real squeeze. I want them to come in as close as you can. You can lift your head, your neck, your shoulders off the floor. Give a really big hug. And then bring that up into a seat. Close the eyes, place the hands on the knees. Pull your shoulders back. Lift the crown of the head tall. Breathe in all the way to the top of the lungs. And breathe every last drop out. Breathe in all the way to the top of the lungs. Fully all the way out. One more in. All the way out. And then bring the hands into prayer heart center. Bow your chin into the chest. Thank yourself for giving up time to practice this evening. Namaste.